Good morning, everybody. I'm Nader Fatih, one of the co-founders and CEO of Kiana Analytics. We are a Silicon Valley company. We are a group of serial entrepreneurs. And again, I want to thank DHS, Science and Technology, and Melissa, a wonderful team, the SVIP, who has been working with us. So let's see how this thing works. Excellent, great. So a little bit about our company. For the last 6 years, we have been working on what we call IOP. Some of you may be familiar with the term IoT. We are IOP, Internet of Persons. Basically, what we do, we look at the physical location, and we basically identify the mobile devices, the Wi-Fi signals in a mobile device, okay? So traditionally, our customers have been using this in areas such as malls, convention centers, and so on, to basically see what is the movement of the people in a location. So we heard about this wonderful program as SVIP, and the commissioner talked about this. We applied, and we actually very excited to announce that we actually have 2 projects with SVIP. The first one has to do with enhancing the passengers coming to the U.S. Some of you who have traveled overseas like I do, when you come back to the airport, first they have to look at your documentation, your passport, make sure it's you. There was a discussion about this. The second one is the discussion the officers have with you to find out what is your intention, why are you visiting U.S.? So today there is 100 million people coming to U.S. a day. Think about this. And again, as the commissioner talked about this, some of these areas are very hard for the officers to actually be at, right? So how do you make this happen where people can remotely go through this process without actually physically being in first place? So that's the first one we worked on. And by the way, we finished phase 2. We are about to start phase 3 of this project. And the second one has to do with the queuing at the port of entry. Today, there is 329 port of entries in the U.S., and basically the question is, how long is the queuing, and how many people are standing in the queue? For those of you like myself, we're flying back to California this evening. You know, I'm always thinking about how long is it going to take me to get from here to the airport, how long is going to be the TSA line, and how long do I have to get there? And, you know, we want to make this all automated. All right, great. So with that, a little bit about our team. So we are, as I mentioned, a group of serial entrepreneurs. Last company was successfully exited. Siemens bought that company, and we started Kiana. My team, half of us are in Silicon Valley, in Sunnyvale, the other half in Germany. Some of our members are here. Hopefully you get a chance to meet with them. We had a wonderful demo last night. Again, Dr. Klaus Tenhagen is not here, but Sebastian and Dr. Klaus Seidman, which are 2 of our key executives, are here, and myself. And on the bottom, you see some of the big companies that we have been working with. By the way, today, Kiana Commercial is deployed in over 50 countries worldwide, and we have customers all over the globe. Please take a look at our website, kiana.io. All right, great. So what is it we do? Again, we look at all the Bluetooth and Wi-Fi devices, and based on that, we can see where are the people, what is the movement, and so on, right? So you see here is an example of this, how it shows in a location. We also have an app, which is actually used by security folks. In this case, is an example of an officer, and we can see what she's doing in a physical location. And we augment this with cameras as well. Not only we see the devices, we can basically merge and fuse this data with the cameras. All right. So again, what we do, and we have a couple of key patents in this area, and has to do with the fact that we can see all the MAC IDs. As you know, every device has a unique MAC identification, and we can basically get to the root of this. And then, as I mentioned, fusing this with other technology, such as camera images. So those are some of the work we have done. So people asked me earlier, you know, what do you really get out of this project? I think what we get out of this project, really working with real-life examples and challenges. For example, again, DHS, Science and Technology, invited us to go and visit the U.S.-Mexico border. I mean, this is an amazing place. For any of you been down there, I mean, the wait time for the cars could be up to 3 hours crossing this border. So how do you make this, fast, right? And by the way, because of the housing prices in San Diego, a lot of U.S. citizens are buying homes now in Tijuana and commuting back and forth every day. You know, being in a line for 3 hours is not fun, right? DHS took us to San Francisco Airport, took us to San Jose, and we have really seen what's happening in the background and what the challenges. So this has been fantastic experience for us. All right, so the whole thing is about force multiplier, right? Again, as the commissioner talked about, you cannot really put an officer in every corner of the country. This is just doesn't work that way, right? So how can we use technology to do more with less, right? And by the way, this is again win-win. We talk to the airlines, and airlines, when we talk about the queuing project, they love it. They talk about what they call couch to gate, right? They want you to know exactly the way I know about Waze, for some of you using that tool, is I know exactly how long does it take to get from my home to my destination. Why can't we do this, looking at, say, how long should I leave this to be at my airport to catch my 6 o'clock flight? So that's some of the areas we're working on. And, we basically have really a product called Guard View, and we're deploying this in corporate campuses. Some of you may know some of the issues, again, in Silicon Valley with YouTube and Facebook and so on, where there was some physical security issue at their corporate campuses. So can we apply the same technology that we're building for DHS Science and Technology to those areas as well? All right, so again, enhancing travel experience. This is, again, what we call win-win-win. It's win for the traveler like me. It's win for the airlines. Airlines don't want you to miss your plane. It's win for the airport. Why? Because airport wants you to spend more time at the airport, and you buy more stuff when you spend more time there. And of course, it's win for the TSA and DHS and everybody else, because you go through that line much faster. And, you understand, again, the force multiplier here. All right, so, somebody says Silicon Valley moves fast. Raising money in Silicon Valley is not fast, okay? I have been in Silicon Valley since '89, and a typical raising funds takes at least 6 to 9 months. For a startup, 9 months is a lifetime, right? So this project that we have done with SVIP has been fantastic. We submitted a 10-page proposal. Basically, there was a call. They did an interview, and Melissa and her team called us back the same day, right? It's amazing, right? When I tell my board and my investors that, what usually used to take 9 months, we did it in a matter of weeks, is just like, wow, this is amazing, right? And the other nice thing about it is that they don't own any equity, right? So as you know, the way VCs, venture capital works, they want a big portion of your company, right? In this case, this is really building a real-life solution without giving away half of your company to a venture capital. So we have fantastic. The other thing which really this has done for us, knowing the real problem, really pushed our technology. We filed 2 major patents last year, and they were both granted by the U.S. Patent Office because of the work we are doing with DHS Science and Technology. Really learning to see what the challenges are, and this really helped us to really leapfrog our technology. And then the last but not least is the credibility. As a small company, the biggest issue you have is your credibility, right? How big are you guys? Well, guess what? We say we are one of the portfolio companies that work with DHS Science and Technology. The conversation changes, right? That's a big check mark. All right, so we love it. And by the way, last but not least, money, right? So as a small company getting funding, especially the funding which is not tied to equity, we don't have to give our intellectual property, we don't have to give away our patents. It's very good and very effective there. So with that, again, I'm Nader Fatih, company is Kiana.io. Would love to talk to most of you after this event. Thank you so much.